This is Young Trader. It is hump day, which means it is crude day. Now, the API report came out yesterday, and you had a small draw on crude of 0.6 million. Distillate had a build of 3.5 million. Gasoline had a draw of 1.2 million, and Cushing had a small build of 0.3 million. Now, the EIA report there for crude will be out today at 10:30. So we have to see how that all shakes out. Okay, so we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and we'll take a look here at the old NQ and see how it's shaking out today. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell, stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have Bitcoin, your daily and your weekly chart. Now you can see here yesterday we had this nice green candle. We're holding this key support level right here, okay, which is very, very good. Now what we're looking at today is we're looking at this 8-day, okay. It's looking at a 118,839 level. Then we'll look here right to the bottom of this candle of today's low here so far, 117,960. And then we're going to be looking at yesterday's low at that 116,275. But you notice that it held this 116.90 here very, very nicely and almost like a double bottom situation. Not almost likely, it was a double bottom situation. Now, if we lose that, then we're going to come right to this gap here, looking at 115,635, and then we'll look at a fill. You're looking at 114,380 level, and then we come right up here to this 113,170 level. Okay, so that is your 21 SMA, which I call pretty much your catch-all. We lose that, we got the 50-day sitting right there. But right now here, we just have this nice sideways action, very nice consolidation. So if we look in the past here, you can see how it runs up here, then consolidates, runs up, consolidates, kind of a situation. Okay, then we had a nice big consolidation period going all the way through here. So this is actually looking here very, very nicely. Now, today, so far, it made a high of 125.40. Yesterday's high there was 120.535. So you're sitting right at that area. So what you're looking for on the top side is right here is 121.165. That's going to be very, very key. So as long as we can stay in this range, we'll be trading this box situation, okay? So on the upside, just watch at 121.165. On the downside, we want to watch the bottom of that candle at 116.90 level, okay? Now, if we can get above this, we have this 123,615, but you have to really respect this just for two reasons, okay? Actually, because we have a topping tail here on the daily, and we have a topping tail here on the weekly, okay? So always look at those patterns there, okay, situations. So now, if you want to learn about chart patterns or, anything on that order of candlesticks, just go to my playlist. It's all right there. You can look at it at your convenience, okay? So now, when we look at here at the RSI, we're just hanging in there very, very strongly, looking very, very good. Your green is over your red, so it shows good momentum here. But again, we just have the sideways consolidation action. I really think that we're going to break through this here, this 123,615, and your next level is going to be 125,500, because what we have here is the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. If you flip that over inverse pattern, you get about 125.5 left. Now, again, you're dealing with such a large numbers here. It could blow right to 130, 135, especially with Bitcoin, because a lot of traders want to get into this, okay? You see where Odell Beckham, they were going to pay him $750,000. He says, "Yeah, I'll take it, but I'll take it in Bitcoin." Now he's worth $1.4 million for that 750,000 here. So a lot of people interested in the old Bitcoin. Now, when we look at the weekly chart here, okay, so we're holding this this level here. This is what you're looking for on the top candle. You're looking at 112,345. If we lose that, you're looking at that 110,925. But we want to hold that there by Friday, because right now we have a nice, good bullish chart. We are very, very strong on the RSI here, and the green is over your red, so it shows good momentum to the upside, okay? So bottom line here, watch that 8-day today. That's going to be key. And then watch yesterday's low, that 116,275, and then right here is going to be key is 116.90 level, okay? We lose that, we have the gap to fill and the 21 SMA here. Upside, just watch the top of that candle, 121.65. If we can get above that, and we go to the retest here at 123,615. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and at silver. Okay, here we have gold, here we have silver. Now you can see here how gold had a really nice good run up there yesterday, okay? So where we're looking for that high was that 34.47, and okay, we have 34.51 level, okay? So your next level going to be right here is going to be this 34.68, and then we have your retest of 34.76 level, okay? So that's going to be on your upside. Now, if you can get above that 34.76 level here, then we have this retest of this 35.09. But see what I'm talking about with these topping tails? See, you have to really respect it, because look how so sideways this went until, you know what I'm saying, we can maybe break out, but you have to look at that topping tail. When you see that, it's just a sideways to down kind of an action until we break above that, okay? So what you're looking for is right here on the upside is two levels, is at 34.68. okay, that 34.76, and then your retest of 35.09. You crack above that, you're going to go to that 35.50 level very, very easily. Now, you can see your RSI here. Well, we're kind of leveling off, but again, you've got plenty of room to run to the upside. Your green is over your red here, but we're way on the bottom here. We're not on the top kind of a situation, so you have good momentum to the upside here on the old gold ski, okay? So now what we're watching here is on the downside is we're watching right here, top of this candle. Okay, so you're looking at 34.16, and we'll look to yesterday's low. That's at 33.94 level, and then we have that 8-day sitting right there at, let me see, punch it up for you. Okay, so you got 33.79, and then we have 33.52, your 21-day. Then we have your 50-day sitting at 33.41. Now, we're going to have a nice sideways action, but if you just watch my videos, you'll notice that when you get sideways action, you actually build energy, and when she blows, she could blow right on up here, and that's exactly what it did. Now, again, sometimes that energy could take it down there too, but this looks like it just wants to go higher. So again, we want to watch yesterday's high. That's going to be key, 33.94, and then today's high at that 34.51 level. Okay, so just always watch that 34.47, then 34.51, and then we have that 34.68, and then we have that 34.76 level. Then we have to see what the reaction is once it gets there. Does it come right back down and we test that 8-day and 21-day and 50-day, or does it blast through and go to that 35.09 level? Okay, so we got good here on the RSI here, good on the old MACD here. So this is actually looking very, very bullish on the old gold. Okay, now here we have silver, and I can see here silver actually is breaking out. So this is what I was talking about with that consolidation. You go sideways, and then look at here. We had a nice perfect bull flag, and then she breaks right on out. Now, look how nice this 21-day has held. Okay, this is why you trade the charts. And look at here, this 8-day came right on down, put a topping tail, came right on down, and then she broke right on up here. Look how nice this held it the whole way. Now, yesterday we had this high of 39.02, and then today we have a high here of 39.83 level. Okay, so right now here, what you do is you're going to be watching, I said at 39.83, and the next level obviously is going to hit that 40, 42, and possibly 45 a level here there on the old silver. Now you can see here how the strength is. You're going to go right back up here. We had this negative divergence, and then we had that little bit of sell-off kind of situation, but she recouped real quick right at that 21 SMA here, and now we're holding that 8-day and that 21-day nicely. So on the downside here, you want to watch this right here, 39.57 level. That's what you want to watch here. You want to need to hold that, and then we look to yesterday's low. You're looking at 39.02, and then we have that 8-day sitting at 38.75. If you lose that, we're going to come right here. You're looking at 38.36 level. We'll come down to the bottom here at 37.68, and then we have your 21-day at 37.56. So let's just see if this pattern can hold, but look at this nice series of higher highs and higher low situation. Okay, looks like it just wants to break higher, the same way with the old gold. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. Okay, here we have crude oil, your daily and your weekly chart. I want to show you this here for a simple reason is I wanted to show you this bear flag situation. See how we have this pole here, and then we had that bear flag, and now it looks like she wants to come off here. So we have to watch the bottom of this candle. This is going to be very, very key, okay? That's that 64 flat. So when I just show you the daily here, what I was talking about is this big pole and a huge big bear flag. But you can see how clearly it is on the old weekly chart here, okay? See that big pole? And that bear flag, and now she's going to be, because she's coming off here. So what we're really watching is this 64 level here. This is going to be very, very key. So you can see how you had that rounded top, and you just could not get through in that 200-day on a closing basis. Now we had one day where it was green, and that it was a nice little scalp, but you notice that it couldn't hold it, came down, and now we're just in an absolute series of lower highs and lower low situation. Now we're below that 8-day, 21-day, the 50-day, 100-day. So next target here is going to be that 64, which is basically the bottom of that candle. Now, if we start losing that there, then we're going to come right, just follow these candles down. You got 62.82 level. Here we got 62.17. You have 61.06, and we'll come down to the bottom there at 59.74. Now, again, we start losing all that here down the road. What we got here is you got 57.74 level. You got 57.03, and then we have this retest down here at 55.30, and then you have your 55.12. Now, you crack this, you're going to go 53, 50, 48, and you can get all the way down. There's a gap all the way down at 43 level here. Now, that's not where I'm saying it's going to go. I always like to show you where it possibly could go, okay? But this is what I wanted to show you here is on this bear flag situation here on the weekly, and here on the daily. Okay, now on the upside here, well, we got all this resistance. 65.06 is your Hondo right here. You got 65.55, and then we start running into your 66.25 level here, 66.45. That's your 8-day, your 21-day, and then we have your 68.26, which is your retest. You get above that, we can come here to this 69.65. But you're going to need some kind of a catalyst here to take above all that resistant level. Okay, so when you see these bear flags here, if we lose that 64 level here, that's going to be what's going to trigger it, and then we're going to start hitting all these price channels. That's why these blue lines are just price channels. Just bring them right across, okay? And those are going to be your targets, okay? And your downside support levels, okay? Very, very nicely. So just be very, very cautious here with this here today. Now, we had a very, very small draw here in Crude here on the EIA report, the same way with Cushing here. And then you had a build like in distillates. And so again, things are, it looks like it's just kind of a slowing down. But just remember, this market is fully supplied. Okay, the supply and demand here is very, very supplied. Now, again, now OPEC is going to be raising here come August, which is just right around the corner here now. They're going to be adding 540,000 barrels a day. Right now, they're adding 411,000 barrels a day. And then who knows what they're going to do in September. Okay, they want to try to recoup that 2.2 million barrels a day that they were taking off. They want to recoup. So Saudi Arabia is looking at it is they'd rather have market share right now than what the price is. Okay, so that's how they're looking at it. So that should take crude oil right on down. So just watch this 64 area. Very, very key level here on the downside. We lose that, then we're going to start hitting all these price channel situation here. But on the upside, you have a lot of resistance. Watch that 100-day. 50-day, 200 or 21-day, and 8-day, and then your 200-day. So everything is very, very, see that rounded top there? Very, very bearish pattern going on here. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas. Now here's the daily chart all taken right on out here. Okay, so you can see it clearly. Okay, so this is what we had. Okay, so we had this nice run up here, but this is that topping tail situation. Okay, so always got to be leery of these. Look in the past. See when you have the topping tail, what happens, kind of a situation. Okay, see a little topping tail and see what happens. Okay, so what we had is we had this downtrend, but it broke that 8-day and rallied right back up here. But then when you have all these are just like a little topping, almost like a tweezer top situation. Okay, if you just had the two candles side by side, that it would be a perfect tweezer top. But that's pretty much what you have, and then we just fell right off a cliff here. Okay, so on the downside, what we're watching is we're going to be watching this price channel right there. Okay, that's at 3.149. That's going to be very, very critical, okay, on a closing basis. Now, again, if it holds it, you could take a good trade here long and take it right back up here to the 21-day and the 8-day and the 200-day in that situation there. But if we lose it, you're going to be looking right here, bottom of that candle, you're looking at 3.10. Then we'll come over here. So we still have this gap in this fill situation, 305. There's your gap. We look at here, 298 your fill, and then we're going to come right to the bottom of this candle here at basically 286 level, okay? So that's your downside if you lose that price channel at 3.149. Now, on the upside here, well, we can look at today's high, looking at 3.26 level here. We come up to yesterday's high, looking at a 3.33 level. Then you're going to start running into all this resistance here. You got that 3.43. There's your 21-day, your 8-day is sitting right there, and then your 200-day. So that's going to be very, very strong resistance at 3.45. Then we can come up here to that 50-day at 3.51, and then we have your 100 SMA here sitting at 3.63. But right now, pattern is very, very bearish scenario going on here, okay? So unless it holds this key price channel, okay? So if we hold that 3.149 right here, okay, then that would be a good buying opportunity here to take it right back up here to these simple moving averages. But if it can hold, then we're going to be coming down. We'll be looking for this 3.10, that gap, that fill, could be all the way on down. Okay, now your RSI here, well, again, that's nowhere near oversold. That has long way on down. Your green is below your red. You can see momentum, but you can still have a long ways you can go to the bottom here. Okay, so right now, natural gas, this is a shorty. I trade this here on the short side as KOLD. Long side is UNG. So I'm going to be a little bit patient here, and I'm going to be watching that level. Well, if we can hold that level, then you could take a trade back up. If we can't hold a level, then I'll jump into KOLD and we'll take it down short. Okay, let's take a look here now at the old NQ. Okay, here we have the old NQ. Okay, so here's what we got. Okay, so you can just see here with just absolute melt up situation here. You can see how small these candles are getting. Okay, see, this is when you always start, a rally, it's like a nice big candles, and then we just go right into the old skinny and as we're melting up. However, we're holding this 8-day very nicely. Okay, so 23,177. We lose that, you're going to come right to the 21-day, 22,948, and it would come down here to 22,157 level. Okay, so very, very simple on the trading on the downside. Upside, we're looking for that 23,424 level. Okay, now again, this if you crack above that, that can go, 23,500. That can go up to 24,000. I mean, who knows, But eventually, when you see this RSI here, see this all the way through here, this eventually ends. Okay, this does not go on forever. So remember, just trade this. Use stops on your trades. Okay, so you're better off losing a little bit here, because when this comes off, it comes off very, very hard. Now we got a lot of earnings coming on here this week here. You got Tesla, and you got Meta, and you got Microsoft, so it's going to be a big effect here. But if you look at the NQ and you look at the S&P futures, the Dow futures, all these charts are about the same kind of a situation. You just have a nice, good melt up. But just remember, August, September, October, these months here are very, very bad for markets. Okay, so this is our selling opportunities that, either selling or shorting opportunities. However, when that's done, then it's a good buying opportunity going into the end of the year here. Okay, so again, if you're a two-way trader like I am, you can do the short ski, okay, and then have a good buying and then carry it on to the end of the year. But I just want to always let you know here that this is just a melt up, and it does not last forever kind of a situation. Okay, I'm still out of town there today and out of the office. But again, I'll be back in the office tomorrow. We'll go right back on schedule with the 3 videos for Thursday and for Friday. And I want to say our rest in peace to old Ozzy Osbourne. And at the end of the video, got a little bit of tribute there to old Ozzy. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.